Welcome to what is normally the Premier League show, but there's no Premier League.
Forget about the Premier League.
Forget about it for a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's our World Cup preview because the World Cup in Qatar kicks off on Sunday afternoon.
Beer free.
Beer free. Beer free. And if Qatar have it their way, journalist free as well. Reporter free, it seems. But it does, it does kick off on Sunday at 4 o'clock.
It does. The big one.
The big one. Qatar versus Ecuador. Enna Valencia.
Come on, the Valencia.
The captain, ex-Everton.
Should still be playing for Everton, I think.
It's only 33, why not? Keep him. Scores goals. So yeah, that starts on Sunday. We can't get away from the fact that it is a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird.
Winter World Cup. Looking forward to the games and stuff, but a Winter World Cup in a place that a lot of people aren't comfortable with, let's say it like that.
No, that's the best way to say it, isn't it? A lot of people aren't comfortable with it.
No.
And a lot of people who are there are not comfortable because it's boiling.
There you go.
It's roasting.
And you can't get a beer.
You can't get a beer.
So there you go. But we're going to go through the groups and have a little look at them and see who we think will get out of it, basically, aren't we? So let's begin where you should begin, really, with Group A, which is the first group. There you go. The group consists of Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal and Netherlands. Straight off the bat, one name sticks out. Qatar, because they're the hosts. Obviously, Netherlands are the strong favourites for this one.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? And obviously, Virgil van Dijk at the back is going to be the leader and one of the best defenders in the world. And you know, we'll see what his sort of level is, and at the very top end in the World Cup. And no, they've obviously in the last few years have changed around a little bit. You know, they've gone through some lean years, but they've got a lot of attacking talent, and it'll be interesting to see how they put it together. And you know, you look at that group, and they're definitely must be the favourites now. Senegal have just lost Mane, which is a massive blow for them. He was their talisman. Yeah. And you know, you can't imagine the other two being too much of a threat. So it's just interesting that they play each other in the first game, which is you always want to get off to a great start in the World Cup, of course. So whoever wins that first game between the Netherlands and Senegal, if there is a winner, of course, I think they'll get through no problem. Then it just makes, if there is a loser, it just makes it a little bit uncomfortable for the you know, in the next game. So I'm backing Netherlands to get to win this group. But Senegal are a good side, and of course they do have Idrissa Gana Gueye, who obviously played for Everton. So what could go wrong?
No, I think in terms of the Netherlands, obviously blessed with lots of talent. You know, be interesting to see how Frenkie de Jong gets on. You know, obviously tremendous midfield player. But looking at, if we put them to one side and saying they get through, because that's what we're thinking, you'd expect them to overcome Qatar, wouldn't you? So there's 3 points. And then, you know, the first game, get a draw, maybe at worst with Senegal. But if they beat Senegal in the first game, then you'd say they're through, aren't you? Because you'd expect them to beat Qatar, and the Ecuador game wouldn't matter. For second place, you're right, Mane being out for Senegal is a huge blow.
Well, Senegal play Qatar for the second game. So, you know, they've got to win that game then, and the pressure, you know, it'd be interesting because if Qatar win the first game, being the hosts, Senegal go up against them in the second one. Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Lots of pressure on Senegal, but of course that all comes down to what happens in the first game.
Ecuador, a young side, obviously very young side. Team that contains Moises Caicedo, of course, who is at Brighton, doing very well. And as we said before, Enna Valencia is the captain, once of West Ham Everton. So yeah, the second place could be an interesting one, it really could. Ecuador know a lot of people, they're exciting young side and all that. But, you know, you would favour, just going off it before the ball's kicked, you'd say it'd be Netherlands and Senegal. So is that who you're going for to get out the group?
You know, Qatar, you always want the host to go far, innit? I'll be honest, I don't really care this time. It all feels very artificial anyway. You know, I seen a piece on TV last night. England fans are already making noise. They weren't England fans.
No.
They were rent-a-crowd.
They were rented
And
ones.
straight away, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about the host nation, because if it's going to be fake, if the whole thing's fake, then why, you know.
I'm sure they'll have their own. They will have, of course, they'll have Qataris who
but
want
that'll
them
be
to
the,
do
that
well.
will be the interesting thing, won't it? That will be the interesting thing, just to see how it all works out.
Yeah.
It just feels, from right now, we're only a couple of days away, it just feels very flat and very fake. It just doesn't feel, there's not, the World Cup hype doesn't feel real when I'm seeing fake fans on, you know, people from other countries being paid to support clubs to sort of
Countries,
countries to generate an atmosphere. I'm like, so I'll be
Once the game starts.
I'm fine with all that. I'll just be very interested to see when obviously the first game kicks off, what it's like. So, you know, we'll wait and see.
It's over to them, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's, Netherlands and Senegal, I expect to go through.
I can't see much different. Ecuador, young, like you said, young side. Can they do it? I don't know. But I would, just right now, it'd be those two. I agree with you. Group B, which is, of course, England's group. Let's have a look at it anyway. It's England, Iran, United States and Wales. See, it's not a terrible group for England, but it's a very interesting group.
It's a tricky one.
It's a tricky one. We'll get into it in a minute. Just the lads over on 888 Sport YouTube channel on the playlist have been discussing England and who they think may shine for the Three Lions at the World Cup. Let's hear what the lads have to say.
Weirdly, I think that Bukayo Saka is going to be England's breakout star player.
It's funny, we're talking Saka, none of us have talked about the star here, really. Like Borussia Dortmund's captain, Jude Bellingham. If we're talking about starting, I would have him above Saka. If we're talking about Saka, I think Jude Bellingham is the one, because there's still a debate if it's going to be Foden or Saka. It's still a debate. He's a guaranteed starter for this team. And he's that magic. If Declan Rice sits, it's a case of, go on, Jude, show us what you can do. He could literally just take this World Cup by storm. No fear. Like, you know, I felt like with Saka and Foden in the Euros, there was that fear. And I'm writing it down.
And he's annotating. That's how passionate he is
that,
about this.
there was a bit of fear, wasn't there? You see it? There was a bit of fear. With both of those two in the Euros, he's going to come on and just no fear at all. He's just going to dominate. He could be the superstar for England.
Difficult position to shine and capture the headlines in the way that we're talking, though. We're talking about winning you the game, aren't we? I don't necessarily think...
He could be that. He could be that Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes-esque player.
You've got to be Zidane level to shine at a World Cup in that kind of position.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
Someone's going to be given a free-ish role in that midfield area to kind of just be that number 8, up and down, up and down. I think it could be him.
I need to introduce you to somebody called Gareth Southgate. there will be no free roles in this team.
Freedom.
There you go. There you go.
Interesting one though, isn't it?
No, it is.
Bellingham should be like someone who's like almost first name on the team sheet, but I don't even know if he will be. And that's I suppose that's, if you're a big England fan and you're looking at it from the outside, I think that's what basically in the last few years you look at it like being at the Southgate thing. I mean, like, you know, obviously a lot of people didn't think Maddison was going to make it, and he has made it. And it's weird because I've looked at the squad numbers now. Even when you look at the squad numbers, the 3 extra players are almost like 24, 25, 26, like Maddison, who else? The Tingo from Newcastle. Wilson. And it's like, you know, almost like...
They're the afterthoughts.
They're like almost like the token ones. And you're like... Yeah. So you look at the last few years and you think players like Grealish and Foden should be like automatic starters for England. They should be. That's what the team should be built around. Players playing for the best club in England, and you know Bellingham should be like, oh, you know, first name now, and you just don't know if they are going to be. And I sort of hope there's going to be almost like a Paul Gascoigne 1990 thing where someone does grab hold and breaks out of it, and you don't even know whether they're going to start in the team.
But that could be Foden.
It could be Foden. It could be very much Foden. You know, or it could be Saka. It could be, you know, you just don't know, do you? Don't know, you know, who's going to grab it from the England team.
I think Bellingham. I think Jude Bellingham is, just because he's a little bit of a different profile than that other midfielder. He's a big lad, can get around the pitch, a good player. He's doing really well. I think he could really be key. But you're right with Southgate, and I suppose it's hard to... I think the criticism of Gareth Southgate is he's a little bit safe. Yeah. But he would sit here and go, the age we are, we've seen a lot of England teams, and he'd sit here and go, that's fair comment. Yeah. But the last 2 tournaments, I've got you to a semi-final and a final. Yeah. When have you done that before? And we'd have to go back to 1990 for, 96 in the Euros, 1990 at the World Cup.
I'd say safe is fine in the group stages, get out the group stage. But I think once you get into the knockout, I think France did this 4 years ago. They were very, very safe. And then once they got out, they just let the players go. And they were, because the group's obviously going to be hard. And this isn't an easy group by any means. I mean, I think the fact that it's Wales, you got that local rivalry and I think was it 2016 in the Euros. The
Euros.
That was a close game. Wales are going to be tough. USA bring loads of energy because they're young, and England have struggled against USA. And Iran, who knows? I mean, I do find this a really tough group to predict. I would think it would be England will go through, but that second place. I mean, obviously Wales play America on Monday night, and I think that could go a long way to who's going to get into this group. That could almost be a knockout almost for, whoever wins that game, if there is a winner again, you'd like to think they will get through or will have enough by getting that win first, but who knows?
No, but it is interesting. I think England, they should well get through. England are one of the favourites for it, so they should get through, and then it will come down to that. Like Iran a little bit of an unknown quantity, how they're going to perform and all of that. You would think, being very basic on it, it'd be between the United States and Wales, and the United States got some good players, Brendan Allison in there, Tyler Adams, of course, both of them playing in the Premier League for Leeds. Some other good players as well. Pulisic.
Decent off set pieces.
Good off set play, energetic, all of that stuff. And you've got Wales, with Gareth Bale just coming off winning MLS Cup and, scoring some goals there. And you've got Dan James, who I know he's hit and miss, but he's quick. Ben Davies, loads of experience at the back.
I think the question has to be, though, Wales versus USA. Who is Ryan Reynolds supporting?
I think he's edging Wales.
I think he'll gravitate.
Canadian, so why would he gravitate to the United
that's
States?
Very true. And then Rob McElhenney's obviously from Philadelphia. He's an American.
I wouldn't. No one could have a go at Rob if he wanted.
No, I get that, but he speaks out of the two of them. He speaks better Welsh.
He possibly. He speaks better Welsh than he does English. American.
Maybe. Well, it is American, isn't it? Not the same language. We've both been there. Yeah. But Ryan Reynolds from Canada. I mean, he's got his own team there. We'll talk about in a little bit. He's got his own team. I mean, he's got 3 teams in the World Cup, essentially, hasn't he, Ryan Reynolds? That's not a bad. I mean, that is a very American way to look at it.
I mean, you are looking at it like he would want America to naturally win, but I don't know whether he would.
I'm just thinking about this will be a great social clip. That's all the way I'm thinking about it.
No, what I'm saying, tag him. He's got 3. Oh, he will be getting tagged because he is obviously the greatest human being around.
Of course.
Him and Rob McElhenney. Welcome to Wrexham, the greatest documentary ever made. But I think it is an interesting one, definitely, because Wales, you look at them and you look at that squad and you go, don't know, not sure.
Club side.
But they are like a club.
But America are like that, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been put together brilliantly. They fostered that team spirit.
But I think Wales will have a little bit too much because of Bale. Because of Ramsey.
Bale and Ramsey are big. They've been there, done it, haven't they? The big name. We've seen it in 2016. Aaron Ramsey I know he was younger and all of that, but they were fantastic. And no one gave them much of a chance there. They got to the semis. So you just never know. But I think it will be a more difficult group than what people think. Just that first.
This will be
first
a difficult one. This and Iran, because
who knows? Yeah.
Because they will be bringing that little bit of unpredictability, and they'll know that every game they're going to be punching up against it. And when Monday comes and they're playing England first game, they might catch England cold.
Yeah. Saud Abdul Hamid is the one to look out for there. Yeah. Fullback, very good attacking fullback. So we'll see, won't we? Moving on to Group C.
So
sorry. Whoa, I've jumped ahead.
Whoa. I'm saying England and Wales. I'm going to put my neck out there and I'm saying England and Wales.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you.
Look, sorry, America.
But I think it'll be. It's not this one.
No, it's
this
not
one's difficult because It would not surprise me at all if it was the United States, because I've heard people downplaying them. I don't think you can, to be honest. So
once they've got that shirt on, and
they love it.
They love it.
They love it.
Absolutely love it.
Let's move on to Group C. Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico and Poland. In this one, Argentina 35 games unbeaten, the best record of everyone going into it. They've obviously got Lionel Messi, who is fantastic. I've seen a couple of clips of him warming up the other day, bending shots in for them everywhere. He's obviously in fantastic form, but they've got good players right the way through Argentina.
Yeah.
Romero, of course, who's done really well for Tottenham, hasn't he? I think Argentina are a team that could very well win this World Cup. Yeah. And Messi, again, we've said this before, what's really interesting is going into this World Cup fresh as such. It's not the end of this long season. Yeah. Messi's playing well, scoring for PSG, scored cracking goal the other night in the friendly. Di Maria scored 2 tremendous goals the other night. Yeah. So they have got a lot of attacking talent as well. So.
I think for me, Argentina have to get off to a really good start and start as they mean to go on. What can happen with Argentina? Because I remember before, going way back 20 years, 2002, Argentina were the favourites. I think everyone thought they were going to win it, and they got off to a bad start. And England beat them, and they just never recovered, never got the group. Yeah. And they play Saudi Arabia first game, and they've got to hit the ground running, just for their own, I think, for their own psyche, for their own, like, because of the pressure that's put on them. Yeah. They play, I think they play Mexico in the second game. And I think, get off to that good start, go into the Mexico game a little bit more relaxed. Get your first 2-1, and then Poland the third game, they can maybe relax a little bit. But you've got to win that first game, because they will. There is for the first time in a while, they are going into a World Cup as one of the favourites. Yeah, yeah. Messi, okay, people saying it's his last World Cup, but because it's in the middle of the season, he hasn't got that exhaustion, he's got that baggage, and I do think he's got other players around him who would chip in and help, and I think that's really important. So. I expect Argentina to get through the group. Now, second place is really interesting because Mexico always show up at World Cups. Yeah. Poland have obviously got Lewandowski. Yeah. I'm going for Argentina, Mexico to get out of this group. Okay. I don't think Poland have got enough. I think the goals of Lewandowski are amazing, but I just don't think they've got enough. I think Mexico, for me, will get out the group.
Yeah, it's Argentina comfortably for me. In terms of they'll win the group, I think. I do agree with you, though. They do have to get off to a decent start. I think Saudi Arabia could make it awkward for people. And obviously,
it's not that far from where they are, is it?
They should be. It's a tough one. It's Mexico. Obviously, you've got people like Lozano, who is done well in Europe. He's a player, scored the win against Germany in the last World Cup, didn't he? For Mexico, who do tend to perform. You've also got Kevin Alvarez, who's another highly rated, he's a fullback, highly rated player. A few teams are looking at him. So it'll be interesting to watch. And they are tough. Poland are weird, aren't they? They're a very workman-like team, but they've got Lewandowski at the top end, who's incredible. Can they get enough chances to him? Mexico, I would edge towards them. And obviously Saudi have got Saud Al-Mohammed, fullback, who's very good. So there's players to watch, but am I going to go different to you? Poland, Mexico.
I double dare you.
I'm going to go Poland.
Cool.
I'm going to go Poland. I'll be honest, when I'm saying it, I don't believe myself, but I'm just going to go because otherwise I'm just agreeing with everything.
I think. Don't get me wrong. I think Poland are a better team than Mexico. I just think Mexico have a nous in World Cups that seems to get them through. They just have a battling and fighting spirit that I think might just be a little bit more than Lewandowski's ability. And listen, they're more than Lewandowski, but I just don't know. I just feel something for Mexico in my loins.
Fair play. On to Group D. Let's have a look at that.
This is a decent group, this. This is a fun little
This
group.
is good. It's France, Australia, Denmark,
Tunisia.
and Tunisia. Very interesting. Well, I think straight off the bat, I think France will get through.
Yeah, but what I would
France
say is,
have
though,
got unbelievable
but what I would
footballers.
say is, though, they've lost like 3 or 4 really good talented
No, they
players.
have. They've basically lost the midfield, haven't they?
So they've lost
two important midfield
but they have
players.
got one of the standouts, which is Mbappe, of course. They've got him. They've got Benzema, and who this will be like now he's going to run properly. They've got Giroud as well, who's still a lot of
still
talent.
banging them in. Experience.
Good defence.
Got great
Keeper
young players.
maybe not really feeling the keeper.
Lloris isn't great, but he's experienced, isn't he?
But again, you know, the second game is France versus Denmark, and Denmark I think will be good.
You keep naming Denmark.
They're a good side. I don't think they'll get past. I think if it works out, they might play Argentina in the. I don't think but I do think this. Think it like the last couple of tournaments, they've been really
got to
good.
the semi-finals of the Euro. The Euros, England beat them, didn't he? And
you know, and obviously Denmark have got a team that's so bonded over what they experienced in the Euros with Eriksen. It's so bonded,
and obviously he's part of it again.
Back now, and I just think they've got something a little bit special.
Well, they have got good players. They've got a good work ethic as well. Them, and when you got people like Kasper Schmeichel, the experience of that. Kjaer players like that, and people who've gone through with them. Eriksen's the sprinkling, isn't he? Yeah. Damsgaard, of course, who plays well for them. He's at Brentford. He's been a little bit up and down with Brentford, but he's very good for Denmark. So they've got players who can do the business, absolutely. And you're right, the Euros, because of what happened on the pitch with Christian Eriksen, just galvanised them, didn't it? And England found it tough, you know, a penalty that was a little bit iffy, should we say. So, yeah, why not? Why not? And again, though, and the thing with these tournaments always, isn't it, is the first game sets the tempo, doesn't it? Yeah. The first game, often, you stumble in your first game, you're uphill. You know, they're playing...
Denmark play Tunisia.
So
France, Australia.
So they'll look and go, even though it won't be easy against Tunisia, they'll be looking and expecting to win that. Yeah. That ends up in a draw or something. Yeah. And France beats Australia.
Tunisia always have. They always, like every tournament, they're a tough side, Northern African side. So without me being a stereotype in here, they're always tough. Yeah. But they have a little bit of flair as well.
Of course they do. Yeah.
Tough with a bit of flair, and they won't be easy. I think Australia will finish bottom. Personally, I don't think they've got anything. Like,
they haven't got what they used to have they?
I don't think they've got any player that you just go, oof, you know what? That Tim Cahill, that Mark Viduka, that kind of player that they used to have, the Harry Kewells of the world. I don't think they have that like talent anymore. So again, it's more workman, but I just don't think they'll have enough.
They've got players like Harry Shooter, haven't they? Yeah. Who was a lot of teams have looked at, who's in the Championship, people like that. They haven't got the Mark Vidukas, like you just said, the Tim Cahills. Brett Emerson, players like that in the past. Lucas Neal, you know, they haven't got that this time. They've done, like I said, good that they're there and all that. But again, with them, they are very bonded. That they have that Australian mentality of the spirit.
I just don't think it'll be enough.
No, I think I'm going to go for Denmark and France to get out of that. 100%. Don't think you can look past that personally. No. Next group, Group E. And Group E sees Spain, Costa Rica, as people like to call them, Germany and Japan.
Decent.
Tough group. You just straight off, you go Germany, Spain.
Yeah.
Straight away, you just go Germany, Spain, because why wouldn't you? But again, you're looking at it and you're thinking, can the other two, if you don't get off to that good start, in the first game, Germany's first game are playing
Wednesday,
Japan.
1 o'clock here.
You'd expect Germany to win that, but then again, Japan have, well organised team, very fit. If it ends in a draw, something like that, all of a sudden, Germany think, hang on, we've got to play Spain.
Well, Spain, Germany's the second fixture. Yeah. So that's where it becomes dead interesting, that second fixture. Because I always think, I'd said, like saying there, it's not always just about, you look at the table and you go, you know, should be that. It can be the fixtures and how they work out. And how you know, and that's why it's so important to get off to your first. You don't want that tough one. You want that tough one or that tricky one being first. You want to try and be able to get yourself off to a great start. Germany and Spain can get off to a winning start in their first game, and the second one they might both look at it and go, well, it depends what the mindset is. If the mindset is, well, if we beat you today, we're through.
We're through, yeah.
But then the mindset might be, we get a draw, both get a draw, then all we got to do is get a draw in our last game and we're basically through, aren't we? So that all comes down to that first game. But Japan are always a good side. Again, they work so hard for each other. They've got so much pride. They're not full of amazing names, but they're full of workmen like footballers who, you know, a lot of them ply their trade in Europe and are good cogs. Again, they don't ever have, typically Japan, that standout that you go, that's the player, that's, you know,
it's going to turn
just,
it or
yeah,
whatever,
who's just going to turn this team into something a little bit more. They can be, they're always tough, they'll always give everyone a good game. It's just that little bit of extra quality. I don't believe they've got it, and I think Costa Rica as well, they'll similar. You know, in where, you know, they'll
Keylor Navas is the big one.
Yeah, and they'll typically qualify, but again, it's that thing of like, their successes, can they get out the group? And that in the group like this, I think it's Germany and Spain.
Yeah,
and Spain are decent, but they just don't have a reliable goal scorer. I don't think.
They got players like Ferran Torres. You know, I was in Barcelona in September. They were playing games. The end of September, October, they were playing games, and I watched a couple of the games while we were there, and they were very good. They were quite good up until the final third, and they just didn't have that. In the past, they played, you think, like David Villa and Fernando Torres, and, you know, players like that who were excellent for them. They just quite haven't got that, you know, that level. Diego Costa, when he was flying, they haven't got that, have they? So it would be probably Ferran Torres, who has gone through the middle at times. We've seen him obviously at Manchester City, but he played wide. So but they are still a hugely talented football team. But you'd expect out of that group, it's them, and looking through, going off the data stats and all that, qualification probability 93.5% for Germany, 74.7% for Spain, then Japan 22 and Costa Rica 8. Yeah. So, I mean, we are going to go obviously Germany, Spain, because Spain. We don't see past that. On to Group F. Let's have a little look at that. There we go. We've got Belgium, Canada, Morocco and Croatia.
Belgium should moonwalk out this group.
They should do.
They should do.
They should do.
Should do. This is their last. This is, or I think this
for some of the players.
This is for this golden generation.
Well, you're looking at it. People like Kevin De Bruyne. He's what, 31 now? Is he 32?
Okay, they might have one more Euros in them.
Yeah, but for a World Cup though, you know, Romelu Lukaku's what, 29, 30.
They're at the peak.
At the peak. If they're going to do it, it's got to be now, hasn't it?
This is the big one.
Yeah, and for the manager as well, you know, Roberto Martinez, who some people think is a good manager, whatever. No, you know what I mean? They think he's like a highly, a top manager. Well, he's had a tremendous squad of players for 6 years, and they haven't, and England have got a better record. So, and I would say Belgium have had better players than England in terms of top level players, and so he hasn't quite done what England have done. So,
do you think this could be? Hazard has almost disappeared in the last 2 years. Do you think this could be like where he comes back on the world scene?
Another one, isn't he? He's 30, isn't he? Or 30. I've seen him linked with Newcastle in January. I don't know, would that be something Newcastle would be very interested in, taking him? If you get him right, and you think back to where he was at Chelsea, he was unbelievable at Chelsea, but he went for 100 million to Real Madrid. And has done, I know he's had some injuries and stuff, and he's now at 30, age of 30. But on a stage like this, you know, I mean...
No, you'd expect Belgium to get through this group quite easily. Croatia, decent side.
They're the second favourite to get
Not quite as good as they were 4 years ago when obviously they got to the final. But they'll be still got
Luka Modric, though, haven't
Canada have got some really good young individual talent.
Yeah.
But can they put it together? Can they, you know, defensively? They did win the group, didn't he, in the North American CONCACAF group. So they'll be one where you look at them and go, oh, could catch you. Alphonso Davies, yeah, he got injured, but is he going to be 100%? Let's hope so, because we want Jonathan David. We want to see that talent. This could be, for those players, this could be a massive tournament. But will they have enough? Well, they play Belgium first. It's going to be interesting. Morocco play Croatia. Morocco again. Tough.
Hakimi.
Tough side to play. But
Achraf Hakimi is the standout player, obviously, for Morocco. Once of Borussia Dortmund, now PSG. Tremendous flying fullback. The one for Canada to look out for is Buchanan. Tajon Buchanan, the right winger, who I think dead fast. If he settles in, he could be one of those players that a couple of teams in January. Don't forget, this is very much. Normally, we've got a World Cup and players go for the summer transfer window. I'll tell you what, for players like Buchanan and people like that, there's a couple of the kid who plays it, mentioned it before, Saudi Arabia, and a couple of others. If they actually do quite well, might have a couple of people going, oh, you know what? Let's have a little bite at him in January and get him off the back of the World Cup. So I think Canada have got a good opportunity, but Croatia you would expect to get through. Obviously, Luka Modric, and they've got loads of experience. The probabilities in that are 90% for Belgium, 65 for Croatia, 37.8 for Morocco, and Canada 6.7%. That's based on data. That's all. Very interesting. Who are we going for? Belgium, Croatia?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Belgium, Croatia. Yeah, personally.
Okay. Group G.
Yeah.
Woohoo! This is the group.
This
is the group.
Very, very interesting one, isn't it?
Brazil,
very, very interesting.
Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. What a group! My Samba boys.
Samuel Eto'o has predicted that Cameroon will win the whole thing.
Okay, well, fair enough.
And he's charted it out. He knows how it's going to play out.
Fair play. Listen, Samuel Eto'o told Everton players that Roberto Martinez wasn't the right man for the club. So I've got no reason to doubt him. He was proved right, so I've got no reason to doubt him. Yeah. But what I will say to him is Brazil will win the group. Brazil will win this
They will do this group.
Yeah, comfortably. Gabriel Jesus will get the goals. Obviously, you've got players like Bruno Guimaraes, who's playing well for Newcastle. You've got Richarlison in there, Neymar. They've just got tremendous players, Brazil. They really have.
Neymar will take his sister to the tournament?
I think she'll be there to support.
Moral support.
Moral support, why wouldn't you? When you have some downtime and stuff you need with your family to rejuvenate for the next game. I think Brazil have got tremendous players.
They're going to go. They're going to go far. And it's been predicted it was in the Tomorrow War. They're going to get to the final. No, they're going to go very, very far in this tournament.
But you know who's interesting in this? Vlahovic, who's obviously at Juventus, striker for Serbia. Top striker. Top striker. In these kind of tournaments, we've seen it before.
And that's who Brazil play first. So
you get him the opportunities. He can take them, and if you've got that player who can put the ball in the back of the net and you can stay solid. I mean, this I guess what Poland will be open to do with Lewandowski, but for Vlahovic, this could be an opportunity for him. Cameroon obviously plays like Guisa, who we've seen over here in the Premier League. They'll be a strong physical side as well. Who'll be able to mix it. So you never know.
I think you're forgetting the X factor for Cameroon, though.
Go on.
Choupo-Moting.
Oh, mate, who could forget? Choupo-Moting, once of Stoke City.
He is the X factor.
He has scored a few goals lately for Bayern. Obviously had the greatest miss of all time for PSG that time, but did score goals for PSG. He's gone to Bayern and he's been a regular goal scorer for them, and just as a by the way off the bench and all that. So
he's the person you want Rondon to be.
He is. The probability for getting out the group is Brazil 92.6%, Serbia 46.17%, Switzerland 34.83%, and Cameroon 26.4%.
Oh,
but what I would say is the probabilities in that are much higher for all the teams than in other groups. Like a lot of the other groups have had like a 6%, 8%.
This one, I really don't know. Brazil, obviously, Oh, you know what? I'm just going to go Serbia because...
Vlahovic.
Yeah, because they've got a centre forward. Nice open group.
I'm gonna go with you for that. Okay. But like I said before, we could easily be massively wrong because Serbia do have, Cameroon, you know, and Switzerland. I mean, no one's really talking about Switzerland. No one's mentioned Switzerland. Big Granit Xhaka. How could you having a stormer of a season for Arsenal? Rejuvenated career. But no, we're going Germany. We're going, Brazil and Serbia, aren't we? Group H. Let's have a look at that one. That is Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea Republic. Yes.
This is a corker.
It is. This is very difficult, right? Because you would expect Portugal to win it, the group. Yeah. Because you've got Cristiano Ronaldo, Sui. You've got Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes, if you like. You've got Goncalo Ramos, who scored again the other night, highly rated. Everton looking at him. And players like a lot of these players who are technically very good as well. Yeah. Loads of game experience as well. And always, no matter how they're coming into a tournament, generally always very difficult to beat, I find, Portugal. They probably haven't done what they've had the opportunity with better players to do necessarily regularly in the past, but they did win, obviously, the Euros in 2016.
The one that, again, it's that thing, isn't it? They've got sort of like, they've got that South American thing mixed with European, and obviously they do have Brazilians playing for them and stuff. I think they'll miss Jota.
They will miss Jota.
Just as a natural goal scorer, but I do think they could be. They're the ones where every tournament no one ever talks about Portugal.
No.
And then look surprised when they do well.
They've got
you look at the talent and go, what are you talking
about?
João
Felix. Yeah. They've got Rafa Lau, who Milan, everyone has had to look at, and Chelsea are very interested in taking him. He scores goals and play wide, can come in from wide areas.
And they always have decent defenders as well.
The defenders are always good. No Fernando Coutos, but very good. No, but they have got a lot of talent. A lot of. Shilla Black turn up there. They got a.
I've got
the black.
I've got a couch.
I've got the. Surprise. So I don't think there'll be any surprise. They will get through. It's the second place. I think that's really difficult in this one because obviously you've got Ghana. Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey, who's playing well for Arsenal, doing well. Yeah. Momentum coming into that. Yeah. Very heavily linked Everton target, Mohamed Kudus, who's having a very good first bit of the season for Ajax this season. He's done okay. And they just, again, Ghana have got power and they've got a lot of skill as well. So, they've always had strong.
And they've been on a bit of a recruiting drive, haven't they, as well, Ghana? Been going round hoovering of all the talents.
Why not?
Where are you from, lad?
Why wouldn't you? And then, of course, you got Uruguay,
Darwin.
Big Darwin, yeah. Darwin Núñez actually he's scoring regularly now for Liverpool. They've got Valverde as well, of course, players like that. So they'll be a handful for anyone as well. Isn't Golden still playing for them?
Probably somewhere.
I'm sure he's.
And South Korea have got Son.
And South Korea have got Son.
And again, when we was
what a player.
Players who come from that region work the socks off, but they've got that little bit of extra because they've got Son.
They've had. If you think go back, we've watched the Ronaldo documentary this week, and South Korea brilliant in that, and think of, didn't Son score? Didn't he score against Germany in the 2018 one when Germany didn't get out? Didn't he put the game to bed when he broke and curled it in? Sure he did. But he's a top player, isn't he? And they will be well organised. And if you've got someone at the top end of the pitch can put the ball in the net when you're well organised, you've got a great chance. Just looking at the probabilities to get out the group, Portugal 82.23%, Uruguay 45.6%, Ghana 43.9%, so not much between them two at all. And then the Korean Republic 28.2%, which is high for a fourth place team again. Yeah. Based on the stats, based on what's gone on.
I think this is the best group. Close.
It's a paper width between Uruguay and Ghana, according to that. And yet we're talking about how you can't write the Korean Republic off either in this. But If I had to, you know what? I'm going for Ghana. I'm going Portugal, Ghana. It's out there, I've said it.
I'm going Portugal, Uruguay.
Okay. You just basically, because you love Luis Suarez. You can't, you're a Suarez driver. Whatever that means.
I don't even know
there
what that
you go.
means.
That's
He's not in it.
No.
It's not even
I know, but you just like the fact that he's Uruguayan and he robbed Ghana of a World Cup final place in 2010.
To be fair, that was one of the. Hey, that's a point, isn't it? That gives a bit of spice to the game.
Bit of spice to the game, yeah.
I hope Suarez turns up, not like in the wrestling. Just stands there at the side of the pitch.
Just looking menacing, with a big foam finger on, just like that.
Just like that, yeah. Just stands there like in the wrestling, like he's gonna do something.
Yeah, you never know.
And then as a top, and he just slightly unzips it, and there's a top underneath, as the top he wore on the night.
Oh, just to get in the Reds. Sully Mansari fuming.
And then when there's a free kick, he goes behind the goal, stands there with his hands up like that.
I remember
Asamoah. I don't know if you're allowed to do any of that. But
Asamoah Gyan come to Sunderland. Like everyone wanted him because he was brilliant in that World Cup. Come to Sunderland for a few months, score some goals, and then just had enough, hadn't he?
Didn't he wear like the number 2 as well?
Yeah, the crap number. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, but
never should be allowed.
Aruna Coney wore number 2 for. No, 5 he wore, didn't he? Jan Coney wore 2 for Wigan, which is Everton should never have took him based on that. You're just like, you're wearing number 2.
He should
never have been.
And that would have been like one of the most iconic Everton shirts of all time. But he got 5 and he moved it.
Imagine. Right, imagine.
Sorry, imagine giving him the number 9 shirt.
Imagine Everton having some iconic players who are associated with iconic numbers and not giving them it. Imagine it. I mean, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that in 2020.
There we go.
Not at all. Hammers. There you go.
That's the groups.
That is the group. So go on.
Right. So we're gonna have who you think's gonna be the winner.
Okay.
Who you think's gonna be the dark horse, and who you think's gonna be a spectacular failure. So who do you think's gonna be a spectacular failure?
That's a tough one. That. You're just asking me who's failing.
We did tell you this beforehand.
I know, but I've just gone back through and thinking.
Hamming it up.
I'm just going back through thinking, who do I feel like should do better and won't? France.
Okay, I'm gonna go England.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go England. I think they're gonna tank big time.
Okay.
Probably get out the group and then crash.
Okay. All right. Would that be classed as a big?
That'd be a massive failure.
Okay.
Can you imagine this country if they get out the group and then lose the first game in Qatar?
No, I know. I'm going to say France.
Okay.
Just because I think, even though they are massively talented and they're still a great side, they could go the other way. They could easily win it, but you put me on the spot.
Dark horse.
Dark horse. I don't know whether they're a dark horse. Well, they're not a dark horse because they're one of the
Then they can't be your dark horse then.
Well, I don't want a dark horse.
No, you have a winner in a minute, but you're having a dark horse first.
But the team I think might win it and the team I think will win it
can't be the same.
Can't be the same.
No.
But the two that I've got are 2 powerhouses, so I don't know whether.
No, that's not a dark horse, then, is it?
I know.
Who's going to do a lot better than people are saying at the moment?
Canada.
Fair play.
And that might just mean getting to the next round.
Fair play.
Who are you going for?
I am going to go for my dark horse is going to be...
Who? Come on.
Portugal.
Okay.
Because I don't think people are talking about them as being
What would that represent, them getting
semi-finals?
Okay, I just want this on record. Canada aren't getting to the semi-finals.
Okay, but you do levels?
Dark horse is just getting
levels.
Like degree.
Okay. So who's going to win it?
Brazil.
Okay. I'm going to say... I've got 3.
You can't
have 3
because I wasn't allowed.
I'm not going to have 3. I've got 3 because I think it's a pretty wide open World Cup. I'm going to go for Argentina just because I want it to be Argentina.
You see, that's my dark horse.
Okay. It's not a dark horse.
I know, but that's who I think Brazil will win it, but the other two, for me, it's Brazil or Argentina.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to go Argentina because I'm wishing it to happen.
Yeah, for Messi.
So for Messi, because I want it.
All right, there you go.
There you go. Check out the rest of that 888 video over 888 Sport, the playlist. Check it out, leave a like, subscribe, do all those good things. Tell them who you think is going to be boss for England, is going to be terrible for England, all those things.
Do it. Let us know in the comments as well who's your winners and who's your dark horse.
And we'll be back.
We're doing live watch-alongs.
We're doing watch-alongs. Monday we're doing a watch-along. 1 o'clock, the England game.
1 p.m. Join us.
We'll be here.
Have it on. We'll be
Full
watching
couch.
it. Full couch.
Full
people,
couch of people.
Screen. And we'll just watch it.
So, and yeah, we'll be doing loads during the World Cup. Yeah. So
join us
stick
for
around
that.
if you've only just found us and you just want to watch us for a couple of weeks to do World Cup stuff.
Yeah.
Because it will be World Cup heavy in the next couple of weeks because there's a World Cup on.
And there's nothing else. So do it.
There you go.
Nice, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Give it a like. See you later. Bye.